So what's your happiness trigger? Hi, welcome to 5-Minute Fika, where we find the time to do a little self-care of the soul by thinking about true and beautiful things. So what's a happiness trigger? A happiness trigger is one of those things that you can't expect, that is like a little surprise that always makes you smile when you see it. Maybe it's a full moon, or maybe it's a rainbow, or maybe it's a butterfly, or maybe it's a deer in the forest. Whatever yours is, mine is sparkles on the water. I just love sparkles on the water. You know, when you come up unexpectedly on a lake or on a river or a stream or the beach, and the sun hits it just right, and then all of a sudden there are these little sparkles everywhere. It's like little diamonds in the water. I love that it also happens at night. If you're walking on the beach at night, which is one of my favorite things, or even if you're by a lake and the moon hits the water and it can be still, and then all of a sudden you see this little path of fairy footprints, little sparkles on the water. It just makes me smile every time I see them. It just is one of those things that just makes me happy for no reason at all. I love that sparkles on the water have no idea what's going on in my life. They sort of happen whether I'm having a good day or whether I'm having a bad day. Nothing in my life can really influence them. They just sort of show up. The only control I have when it comes to sparkles on the water is whether I'm going to choose to enjoy them or not. And I think it sounds like a silly little concept, happiness triggers, but I think they represent something important, because there are a lot of things in our lives that we can't control. And there are a lot of painful things that come into our lives that we can't control. We can't control disease. We can't control tragedy. We can't control we can't control anyone else, really. And a lot of things come in that we have to deal with all the time, that we're constantly trying to navigate and figure out how to survive through. All happiness triggers are an important life hack, because they remind us that it's not just painful things that are unexpected and uncontrollable in our lives. There can be beautiful things that are unexpected and uncontrollable in our lives as well. And when we choose to notice them, even in the midst of a bad day, they can lift us up, even just for a few minutes. And sometimes that's all you need. I love that my life doesn't affect sparkles on the water. They show up whether I'm having a good day or a bad day. I can't control them. What I can control is my response to them. I can control whether I notice them or whether I ignore them. I can control whether I choose to pause for a second and let them give me a little bit of joy for 30 seconds, or I can choose to just go on by. And honestly, I'll tell you the truth, 30 seconds of joy to me is better than none at all. Life is not easy. And if we can find these little things that bring us just little pops of joy in the midst of it, then why would we not take a minute to just soak them in, feel good for a second, and then go on about our day? We can get so wrapped up in our heads and in everything that's going on that we forget that there are things that are delightful in this world. There are things that have nothing to do with us that we can simply enjoy because they're out there. They don't have to mean anything. They don't have to cause a big change. They can just make you smile. And I call it a life hack because some days that's what you need. You just need a little pick-me-up. And for me, it's sparkles on the water. I love them. So figure out what your happiness trigger is. What's your little life hack that's going to bring you a smile? Sure, it's not going to change the whole world, but it might change your whole day. And even if it doesn't change your whole day, it might change 5 minutes. And sometimes you just need those 5 minutes to be better. All of us have those days where we just feel like a mess, right? Like we're nothing but this big, ugly mud puddle. But one of the other reasons that sparkles on the water are my thing is because it's not just water that sparkles. In the sun, even mud sparkles. And I think that's amazing, and it's a good reminder to me that all of us can sparkle in the right light. And sometimes we just need those people in our lives who are going to help us sparkle, because all of us are sparkleable. So keep an eye out for other people. Keep an eye out for opportunities to help other people sparkle, to be someone else's happiness trigger. 2 things I want you to do this week. 1, pick your happiness trigger. And it doesn't have to just be one. You can have more than one. You can have as many as you like. But figure out what it is you're just going to allow to be your thing, that when you see it, you're just going to let it lift your spirits. 2, find the people in your life that you know have some sparkle inside them, and they just need to be in the right light, and then be that light. Help other people sparkle. We all need each other to shine that kind of light so that the sparkle inside comes out, because it is good to be alive, and you're not in this alone, and you, my darling, are spectacular.